Hello, and welcome to our channel. Today, we will take you on a fascinating journey to discover the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda on the mystery of the soul and its various levels of intuition. I assure you that you will be amazed by these profound revelations. Before you start, however, make sure you subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss the next videos. We tackle really interesting topics that will help you expand your awareness and find inspiration in everyday life.
Oh my God, some contemplate the soul with wonder, others describe it as extraordinary, still others listen to it with amazement. And there are those who, however much they hear about it repeatedly, do not understand it at all. Through the instruction of a true guru, the devotee who delves deeply, with a blissful vision, contemplates the soul as an incredible and luminous marvel. Others, diving into the ocean of ecstasy, describe it ceaselessly as a vibratory entity of wisdom. Still others, hearing the wonderful cosmic vibration of Om, perceive the soul as a sweet song of ever-new joy. Then there are those who have never experienced the soul. Their ears of spiritual perception are deaf, and they do not grasp its philosophy, even when they hear about it several times. The three ways of perceiving the soul mentioned in this passage, contemplating it, describing or speaking about it, and listening to it, correspond to the three manifestations through which the soul reveals itself. Light, vision or contemplation, wisdom, describing its wonder, and cosmic sound, listening in communion with the ecstatic sound of Om. Spirit and soul manifest as light, wisdom, and sound. Spirit, in the unmanifest state, is eternally existent, eternally aware, and eternally filled with ever-new bliss. The soul is a ray of the Spirit. The Spirit manifests as cosmic light that gives bliss, cosmic wisdom, and cosmic sound. Therefore, the soul is also perceived as cosmic light filled with bliss, cosmic wisdom, and cosmic sound. Through various techniques learned from a true guru, the devotee experiences his own intuition absorbed in these manifestations of the soul. When yogis develop deep intuition, they can perceive the soul as an astonishing mystical light. When devotees feel the soul as a ray of cosmic intelligence, they describe it in terms of wonderful wisdom. Still others perceive the soul as an ineffable audible vibration of the wonderful cosmic sound or blissful Om. But superficial seekers of truth are so occupied with restlessness that even when they hear a sage speaking about the soul, they can barely understand him, as if they were listening to a foreign language. It can be said with certainty that only an advanced devotee perceives the soul as cosmic light, or as cosmic wisdom, or as cosmic sound. Intuition bridges the gap between intellectual knowledge and realization. The ordinary human being, engaged in material life, is limited by sense perception and rational intelligence. With undeveloped intuition, his understanding of spiritual realities, however subtle he may be on the intellectual level, remains incomplete. Even great theologians or philosophers, though erudite in concepts and doctrines, can understand little about the soul, while a simple illiterate person, but given to deep meditation, can describe its nature clearly through his own direct experience. Intuition, therefore, is the bridge that unites the knowledge of the theory of the soul to the real realization of the divine self. Soul and spirit can be truly understood only by developing the power of intuition through deep meditation. In fact, reason and sense perception grasp only the external qualities of the eternal essence, while intuition grasps its very essence. This is why cultivating intuition through meditation is essential for anyone who desires a real and lasting perception of spiritual truth. From birth, two forces of knowledge operate. On the one hand, the power of human reason, together with its satellites of sensation, perception, concept. On the other, the power of intuition, which, however, usually remains uncultivated for lack of suitable methods and appropriate guidance. In almost all human beings, lower forms of intuition sometimes manifest themselves as inexplicable experiences of knowing that arise spontaneously, independent of the senses and reason. Presentiments, strong inner sensations, premonitions, prophetic dreams. Sometimes such intuitions are just relics of previous lives, while others indicate a slight ability to be calm and receptive, or a very acute rationality. In any case, the source of all knowledge is always intuition, whose highest expression is that in which the soul knows itself. The knower, the knowing, and the known merge into a single reality. As intuition pushes into the material world, it goes through various evolutionary stages, just as the soul itself evolves through the five koshas, the sheaths or garments of consciousness. Similarly, the cognitive powers of the soul assert themselves progressively from the grosser realms, such as simple unconscious response in minerals or feeling in plants, to instinctive knowledge in animals, finally to rational intellect and intuition in the more advanced levels of the human being, and finally to the pure intuition of the so-called Superman or divine being. In the primary intuition stage, one hears subtle sounds, sees subtle visions, perceives subtle sensations, smells equally subtle, and tastes non-physical flavors. It is as if one turns on an internal radio to a frequency different from the material world. In a higher form of this intuition, one senses the pranic force, the life energy, in an extremely subtle and diffuse way throughout the body. When this happens at even more intense levels, one can experience manifestations such as perceiving the soul as cosmic sound. If one is in the second form of intuitive knowledge, prana, it means that the consciousness has partially or totally detached itself from the material plane of the Annamaya kosha. The third form of intuition, it is the direct knowledge of the manas, that is, the mind, with all its functions. At this stage, one is no longer centered on the body or on the vital energy, although prana can still contribute to generating certain visions. One loses awareness of the external world or reduces it to a minimum, depending on the meditative depth. Here, visions of an astral nature, projections of consciousness and prana, in the form of internal images may appear. Some visions are of no great value and can distract the seeker, like fireworks that momentarily capture the sight. Authentically spiritual visions, on the other hand, arise from soul and spirit, using pure intuition to elevate the being towards higher states, such as the perception of the soul as cosmic light. The fourth form of intuition is the direct knowledge of buddhi, the faculty of discernment, together with the consciousness of the ego. One no longer senses the reality of the mind, nor the movements of prana, nor the weight of the body. One feels oneself to exist on a plane above everything, unconditionally. However, there may remain a doubt as to what one is really understanding. This is the intuition of the Jnanamaya Kosha, and when fully developed, it is called cognitive meditation. From it comes an ability to discern the truth that manifests as wisdom. The fifth form of intuition is the direct knowledge of bliss, independent of any object, condition, or intermediary. The intuition of the Anandamaya Kosha, which confers an absolute, all-encompassing joy, as if an inner sun shone eternally. Here too, consciousness is almost completely detached from the body. Only a very few great spiritual beings are able to maintain this pure intuition of the soul in a stable way. The first form of intuition, the most elementary, is present in everyone. The other four, however, require a path of development. They are not totally distinct forms. Sometimes they manifest together, and in the inner experience more aspects can mix. For example, if in meditation one hears a subtle sound or sees an inner light, one may also experience a certain degree of bliss. If one feels oneself existing without perceiving the body, Jnanamaya Kosha insight, it may be accompanied by the sensation of an uninterrupted joy flowing through the being. The highly advanced devotee feels the soul reflected in the purified intellect and ego, and experiences Ananda, divine bliss, even in the midst of worldly activities. Pure intuition is knowing the soul through the soul itself, seeing it with the inner eyes. In this state, there are no more distinctions related to body, mind, or prana. The knower, the knowing, and the known merge into one. The true consciousness of the soul, which is also the consciousness of God, is awakened as it is understood that the soul is nothing but the reflection of the Spirit. Only the highest spiritual beings in the world live permanently in this pure intuition. Some experience it in moments of deep meditation. Others are able to continue it even in daily life. When the intuition of the soul becomes total and uninterrupted, and there is no longer the desire to cling to illusions, even the cage of the body can no longer hold us. We become one with God. In this stanza of the Gita, the wonder surrounding the soul is expressed, and how it cannot be known by the common intellect, but only by those who perceive it with intuition, gradually developed with the practice of the right meditation techniques. It is precisely intuition that allows us to experience the various manifestations of the soul and ultimately to realize ourselves as soul united with spirit, like a drop that finally merges into the vast ocean of divinity.
Excerpts from the book God Speaks to Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita by Paramahansa Yogananda. If you found this journey into the depths of the soul and the power of intuition interesting, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next videos. Share your opinion or questions in the comments below. We are always happy to read your thoughts and discuss them. If you want to support us in producing new content and enjoy some exclusive benefits, subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us carry on this mission of sharing and spiritual growth. Thank you for being with us until the end. See you in the next video. Happy meditation and good continuation on your journey of inner discovery.